Seshadri Chari, who heads the Foreign Affairs Cell of the BJP, Dr. Mehboob Beg of the National Conference, Farooq Abdullah says talks must continue, talks must continue, talks must continue. Jeet Parthasarathy, former Indian High Commissioner to Pakistan, Abhishek Singhvi of the Congress joining on this part of the debate, and in 10-15 minutes we'll open up with our guest from Pakistan. Seshadri Chari, I don't know, what to make of it. On the one side, you have this resolution, which is on the floor of the parliament, which is talking tough to Pakistan. And on the other, there are these tweets or messages from Nawaz Sharif. Look forward to seeing you in New York, kind of messages. And Salman Khurshid, in an interview to me, keeps the talks route extremely open. Now, does the parliament resolution, in your view, Seshadri Chari, make up? Is that enough? If the Prime Minister goes and meets Nawaz Sharif in 1 month from now, will it not be undoing that process?
No, I think the parliament resolution in itself is a good thing that has happened, because it has sent a very strong signal to Pakistan, saying that all the politicians and the people of this country have spoken in one voice. But I am very sorry to say that all the signal ends there. I just happened to watch the last few lines of what Mr. Salman Khurshid said. And he refused to say that the Prime Minister will or will not meet. The question is not whether the Prime Minister is going to meet the Pakistani counterpart or not. The question is, what is he going to tell the Pakistani counterpart? What are we going to tell Pakistan? And we have been touting all these years that here is a Pakistani Prime Minister for the first time in the history of Pakistan after 14th August 1947, who made peace with India an election issue, and he got a mandate for that. Is this how he is using that mandate? Are we not going to ask that person, Mr. Nawaz Sharif, what have you done? We can't say that he is a very good man, he is an angel, and he wants all peace with Pakistan. But remember, Pakistan Assembly passed this resolution and Mr. Nawaz Sharif was part of the resolution.
Yes, but so why this terrible romance? Abhishek Manu Singhvi, that question goes to you. It appears, Dr. Singhvi, that every time there is a new Prime Minister in Pakistan, your government has this, platonic/romantic relationship diplomatically with that person, like Yusuf Raza Gilani, for example. He was described 4 months after the serial blast in Mumbai by our Prime Minister as a man of peace who will rewrite a new chapter in the history of our relationship. Now, there is similar effusiveness in describing Mr. Nawaz Sharif, despite the fact that Nawaz Sharif pushed, supported, backed and got that anti-India resolution passed yesterday on the floor of the Pakistan National Assembly. So, Abhishek Manu Singhvi, why are you doing anger management? You're doing anger management vis-a-vis the people of this country, not vis-a-vis Pakistan. Why are you doing that?
Can I begin, Arnav? Arnav?
Yes.
I think we have to stop tilting at windmills. We are a large, strong, proud country. If Pakistan has passed a resolution yesterday, please understand that you can do precious little about it. What matters is the unity with which we passed our resolution, despite being a democracy which must pay a democracy tax of greater dissent, greater disagreement, more cacophony, yet we passed a resolution. Now, resolutions have their symbolic value, and Pakistan can pass all the resolutions it wants. It doesn't change India's stand.
Can we look beyond symbolism, Dr. Singhvi?
Secondly, one minute. Let me, you had a question of till now longer than my answer. Let my answer get a little longer. Secondly, if you think that the answer to Pakistan every time is to go and do a covert or a overt operation, those have their places. How do you know that there are not covert operations going on?
No, who has suggested
How do you know
that?
that covert
Who has
operations
suggested that? You are changing the course of the... You are making a suggestion which has never been made. You are responding to a suggestion which has never been made. Dr. Singhvi, you know that. The only question is being asked for you today,
but
why are you doing appeasement of every new Prime Minister in Pakistan? What is your desperation?
Okay, I'll
Does
start all over
Manmohan
again.
Singh think he will
I'll
rewrite
start all over
history in
again.
New York?
I'll start all over again for the benefit of those viewers who've only heard you and not me. I said that if you think that when a new Prime Minister takes up his position, the Indian Prime Minister should write to him a letter of abuse and not say that we hope you will be a man of peace.
No, you are
and
again
that you
being
will carry
hyperbolic,
forward
Ms.
relations.
Dr. Singh.
I don't
Nobody is
think that's not the
suggesting
way.
that. Nobody said you are doing all this. All these are your tactics to avoid giving an answer.
Can I complete?
I am asking
But
you.
Can I complete?
No, but
Can
you are, sir. But you are
Let me give a wrong
responding to things
answer, not
which have
to your
never been
liking,
said, Dr.
Arnab.
Singhvi. You know that.
Let me give an answer not to your liking. But let me give an answer not to your
No,
liking.
you don't. You have to give an answer. No, whether to my liking or not is
so much in the
immaterial.
debate.
But you can't conjecture a
No, but
situation
then
which
you
I have
are
not
allowing
said.
me to answer.
You see, you've made
But
this
you
whole
are not
approach. Do you
allowing
want
me
to
to
go to
answer.
war approach? Nobody is saying you
Arnab,
want
this
to
will
go
not
to
work
war.
with me.
Somebody is
Arnab,
asking you
Arnab,
today,
it will
what
not
does your
work with me.
optimism
I
and
will
implicit
not- I am
faith
not
in every
going-
Prime Minister stem from?
Let's do it like this, Arnab. You project your viewpoint fully. Allow me to answer that uninterrupted. I am prepared to hear your viewpoint more than any other panelist or participants. After you finish, allow me my 1 or 2 minutes uninterrupted. And I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
I am responding
you
to
can
you,
then tell the
sir.
viewers that I have not answered your question. But
I
I'm
have
going to
asked the question
answer
3
in my
times,
own
sir.
way. And you are not going to interrupt
Yes.
me. I have answered it 1.5 times when you interrupted me 3 times after that. And you decide first, go around your panel, finish the question, then ask me. I'm in no hurry.
Dr. Singhvi, see, I'll ask you one question. So let's do it this way, right? I will ask you the question in 10
Don't
seconds.
ask it unless you have the patience
Right?
to hear
And
my
then
answer.
you can answer the
Please
question.
don't ask the question
Instead of,
unless
no,
you have the
one
patience to
second,
hear
one
my
second.
answer.
My question to you is,
Yes.
you tell me clearly and tell all the panelists clearly, this is what we hope to achieve in New York. What do you hope to achieve in New York? That's it.
Okay, now this is a different question, right? You have changed the question. Let me answer your changed
That was
question.
the same question.
New York. What we hope to achieve in New York, you have to ask the government or the foreign minister. I speak for the Congress party. I don't know. It's a government policy, what they hope to achieve in New York. But I have a few other answers for this very question. Your approach that after an event, we should completely sulk, as they say in Hindi, do katti and sit in a corner, may not be the best approach, even though it's an argumentative approach which you have been projecting again and again. We are strong, we are prepared for the worst, we still hope for the best, but we must keep some door, some window open.
Okay,
After Pakistan does this, we condemn them. We pass a resolution in the parliament.
So we didn't.
We do not agree to their
we didn't.
stands. We bring them international opprobrium,
We didn't.
but it doesn't mean that we sulk. We don't sulk because we are not.
No, we didn't. No, nobody's suggesting us. No,
Now-
one second.
now
One second, Dr. Singhvi, let's get reaction. Seshadri Chari wants to say something. Seshadri Chari quickly, and then G. Parthasarathi. Seshadri Chari quickly,
no,
please.
1 second.
And then G. Parthasarathi.
When we are.
One
along
second, let's
with
get
that,
reaction,
I have
sir.
no doubt. Along with that, the government of India is taking the whole range and panoply of suitable. Diplomatic,
I
social and other
take that.
political
I
steps,
take that at face
which are
value.
not always to be discussed.
I take that at face
with you on
value. I take that
television.
at face value. Seshadri Chari is responding, then I'll get G. Parthasarathi in. He's not a political voice.
No, I think I can understand the predicament of the Congress spokespersons when they say it is for the government to decide and government will tell you what the answer is and what we are going to talk to the Prime Minister of Nawaz Sharif. I think if it was so undecided as to whether the Prime Minister will meet Nawaz Sharif or not in the first place, and whether he will go to New York or not in the second place, and then even if he comes face to face with the Prime Minister of Pakistan, what is he going to talk about except weather and the price of onions in this country and compare it with Indian price of onions? The most important element here is we are talking about keeping a door open for talks while Pakistan has shut that door right bang on your face. Let us face the reality very straight. If you are going to talk to Pakistan,
Fine.
are we going
Let's get
to
the point.
structure it? Are we going to go back to 2004? Are we going to talk about Sharm el Sheikh? Are we going to talk to them terrorism? What are we going to talk?
You see, let's get Mehboob Beg wanted to come in. Yes, Mehboob Beg.
Let me just make one point. Just 1 second. Mr. Chari is saying this with a straight face when his Prime Minister rightly, and I say rightly, did not shut the door after Kargil, did not shut the door after Parliament attack, had Agra, had Bus Yatra, much more serious incidents because he did not close the door. I don't understand how the BJP can sermonize in that completely hypocritical manner.
I fully
The
agree.
fact
No,
that
no,
you
no,
talk
this-
to somebody is never a sign of weakness. You
Mr.
should not, as Kennedy put it, fear to negotiate.
Let's get the others in. Let's
Mr.
get the others
Singhvi,
in. Now it's
Mr.
time for
Singhvi,
Mehboob
I
Beg to
agree
come
with
in.
you.
Seshadri Chari, let's open it up. Otherwise,
Mr.
all our panelists won't get
Okay,
equal turn.
okay, Mr.
Seshadri
Singhvi, I
Chari,
agree
Seshadri
with you.
Chari, I give the floor to Mehboob Beg at this stage. Dr. Mehboob Beg.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Arnab. Let's not forget that it was Atal Bihari Vajpayee, former Prime Minister of India, who showed us the way, who showed us how to go about it. And he went on engaging even with army dictator who was in command in Pakistan that point of time. And rightly so, I tell you. In spite of the fact that we had a parliament attack, we had what we had in Kargil, in spite of all this, he went on talking, and rightly so. I say you have to have a conviction like he had. I don't know why BJP has forgotten that, and because we have issues with Pakistan, and we the people of Jammu and Kashmir, and we people living in Jammu and Kashmir and state of Jammu and Kashmir are directly affected by our relationship
and let
with
me tell you,
Pakistan. The better relationship we have.
Sir, Dr. Beg, let me just tell you that as of this minute I have breaking news. This minute I have breaking news I want to share with you. Because as much as the people of Jammu and Kashmir, every citizen of India is concerned, as of this minute, the Border Security Force has foiled another Pakistan Border Action Team attack. As of this minute. So if the Prime Minister of India needs to be specific as of this minute, how many such Border Action Team attacks, how many more Pakistan Army attacks will be continued to happen, and before we clink glasses in New York? G. Patsati, what are you making of the political situation right now? And do you think the resolution is enough?
Let me put it this way.
Give me a minute, please?
I think our parliamentarians have risen above party considerations in this resolution.
Right.
Firstly, it's a clear message to Pakistan, don't take restraint to be a sign of weakness.
That's true.
Secondly, it speaks of respecting the sanctity of the line of control. And I'll come to you why that's important. And I want to deal with this romanticism about Nawaz Sharif. Okay?
Whose romanticism? Let's be clear. The government?
Romanticism. The third point is, very clearly it has reiterated the 1994 Parliament resolution that the whole state of Jammu and Kashmir, including Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan, are a part of India, and that is the only subject. So hats off to our parliamentarians, the statesmanship shown in Parliament.
Absolutely.
Now coming to the situation as it is, with regard to summits. Now, personally, as a professional diplomat, having watched how summits are organized, there is extensive preparatory work which goes into a summit, and only the I's are dotted and the T's crossed by the leaders.
Right.
That means there should be extensive preparations, because you can't afford to have a failed summit.
That's true.
The Agra summit by Mr. Vajpayee was a failure. It was unprepared, and it led to the attack on our parliament because they took that as a sign of weakness. But the 2004 summit he had with Musharraf was very well prepared with extensive preparations by Brajesh Mishra, which led to Musharraf giving a written assurance that territory under Pakistan's control will not be used for terrorism. Right. He arrived at a political assessment that he meant to keep it because he himself was under threat. That stuck around. Then came Mumbai. And that is where we made a very serious mistake. The political dimensions within Pakistan had changed. You had a weak government and a strong army chief, and I remember Kayani in 1999 was very close when I was there to the Lashkar-e-Taiba as the divisional commander in the Kashmir sector then. Now, what has happened is, since then, we had that disgraceful episode in Sharm el-Sheikh, which was a total surrender, and I think it was, to say that terrorism, if Pakistan indulges in terrorism, it will not affect the composite dialogue. Yes. This is one thing you said.
Yes.
Then you go on and you say that Pakistan is a victim of terrorism like us. False. And then you give them a clear signal that you go ahead with terrorism and these talks will continue.
Right.
Which was a total reversal of the position taken in 2004. We paid the price. We've had the Bombay bomb blasts, various other things, now these LOC incidents. Now, if the Prime Minister goes fully prepared, knowing what he wants, it's okay. Now, all this romanticism, I want to get to know Nawaz
What can
Sharif.
the Prime Minister
No,
want?
just a minute, let me say. I'll tell you what I want. Let's be clear of Nawaz Sharif. 1993 Mumbai bomb blasts, in which 250 Indians died, was executed in Nawaz Sharif's first term, and his personally handpicked DG ISI, Lieutenant General Javed Nasir, was indicted even by the Americans. Nawaz Sharif comes in 1999. In my presence, he's playing footsie with the Khalistanis, inviting them for jattas. Then he sends his information minister and the governor of Punjab to meet the Lashkar-e-Taiba chief, Hafiz Mohammad Saeed. Hafiz Mohammad Saeed has for 2 generations been close to the Nawaz Sharif family. Today, the Jamaat-ud-Dawa is funded by the Punjab government, headed by Nawaz Sharif's brother. Are all these things being taken into account? And what is it you wish to achieve? If you come back with a categorical declaration that of 2004 repeated, second, if you come back that the ceasefire
will be none.
If you can't get it, I can't see the reason.
No.
Because you are going back to where Mr. Vajpayee went with the Agra summit and landed up with the Delhi attack.
That's the point.
No, so by all means engage them, but engage them seriously. Raise the costs for them internationally.
Well, you know what people in the government told me today. You know what people in the government told me today, and on this I'll get a reaction from Abhishek Singhvi. They will open up. I have guests from Karachi, Islamabad and Lahore also lined up, and they are waiting. We'll go across to them. But this is what they said, Dr. Singhvi. People in the government are saying that the Prime Minister feels that if he does not meet Nawaz Sharif in New York, then it will make global headlines. That the Prime Minister of India refuses to meet Nawaz Sharif in New York. And this will put the onus, and we will be the bad boys of the diplomatic arena. I can tell you at very senior levels, this is what is being said. Now, is this the kind of rational explanation or logic that a government should follow in deciding how to deal with a troublesome neighbor, Dr. Singhvi? That question is to you.
Arnav, there is one more point that I want to raise here.
All I can say is that I don't think your undisclosed, unknown, unquoted sources deserve an answer by me on national television. I completely reject it. I don't accept what you are saying. I don't agree with it. My sources equally tell me differently. My sources tell me that India's consistent foreign policy will continue. What the government will do in New York is for you to ask the foreign minister or the prime minister. I can't bind the government or speak on behalf of the government, but certainly I'm not going to answer a question which is based on your
Seshadri Chari, quick. Okay, fine. You've done that. Seshadri Chari, respond, and then we go across to our guests in Pakistan.
Arnav, I want to quote a source who spoke on your television just 15-20 minutes back. The foreign minister of this country very specifically said that if the talks takes place in Pakistan, the talks will have very big ramifications for the future of the region. So the Prime Minister of India is going to talk to the Prime Minister of Pakistan, which will have ramifications for the future of the region. Will the Prime Minister or his party colleagues explain what he means, and is he preparing, as Mr. Parthasarathy said, is he preparing for rewriting the history, geography and chemistry of this region? If so, I think the nation requires to know what is there in the mind of this Prime Minister, please.
Mehboob Beg, quickly. Mehboob Beg, you want to respond and then we go across. Yes, please. I give you your turn, Mehboob Beg.
Arnab, do we mean... thank you so much. Do we mean to say that we should stop talking? We cannot stop talking. Even after wars, we have gone to wars. Even after
no, you can
wars,
suspend talks.
We have to talk. You cannot stop talking.
Mr. Mehboob Beg, please, let me repeat.
Mr. Beg, Mr. Beg.
No, Mr. Parthasarathy, Mr. Beg, 1 second. Hear from Mr. Parthasarathy.
Mr. Beg, it is nobody's case we stop talking. You have to engage a neighbor. More so if it's a neighbor you have problems with. The question is what form that engagement takes. You cannot reduce the salience of terrorism in your talks, which is what Dr. Manmohan Singh has done since the Sharm el-Sheikh agreement.
That's true. I think
that is the heart.
Now joining us from Lahore, this evening on the news are former diplomat Khalid Mahmood. Mr. Mahmood, good evening. Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Senior leader of the PMLN, Mohammad Siddiqui Al Farooq, is joining us from Islamabad. And joining us from Karachi is Zafar Ileli. Now, we've seen where the discussion is going. We've seen these two resolutions against each other that have been made. But the point is very clear, Zafar Ileli, and you will also agree with me, that there was absolutely no need, absolutely zero need for Pakistan to move ahead with that resolution yesterday while continuing to carry out its, aggressive action along the LOC. And when you pass a resolution yesterday, you can't follow it up by a message today, look forward to meeting you in New York. By passing that resolution, Mr. Zafar Ileli, you have spoiled whatever chances there may have been of a resumption of fruitful dialogue with your country. Why would you do that?
Well, thank God you're not a diplomat and you're not in government, number one. And I must compliment you that you are rude, offensive and insufferable with Pakistanis and Indians alike. A fair man. Now...
Well, I take that, I take all of that as a compliment, because Zafar Ileli, I have been trained not to be flattering to any politician or to speak any diplomat's language. I tell you, Zafar Ileli, the day a journalist speaks a diplomat's language, he is no longer a journalist. I think I lost the line with Zafar Ileli there. But let me put that same... Okay, we lost the line. Khalid Mahmood is amused at that unprovoked attack that came in from Zafar Ileli right on top of Newshour this evening. Khalid Mahmood, that same question goes to you, sir. If yesterday's resolution hadn't happened, there might have been a sliver of hope for the resumption of a dialogue.
You see, it's unfortunate that an incident like this leads to a public coercive diplomacy. We have seen that before and we are seeing it again. I think what has happened at LOC on the 6th of August is regrettable and tragic. The Prime Minister of Pakistan has expressed his grief. He has also expressed that there are existing channels which should be utilized more fully to discuss that. And let me also point out that the LOC agreement which was initialed in
Oops, just lost the line there. Yes, he's back. Yes, Mr. Mahmood. Oops, I think I lost the line there with Mr. Khalid Mahmood. But I didn't ever hear Nawaz Sharif express regret for the killing of the Indian soldiers.
No, this was a statement he issued in May about wanting better relations and so on. But coming to what Mr. Khalid Mahmood said, why I liked the resolution drafting was they have spoken of respecting the sanctity of the line of control. The word sanctity has been used only once before.
Yeah.
When Nawaz Sharif, at the end of Kargil, to get the Americans to bail him out, Clinton forced him to agree that Pakistan would respect the sanctity of the line of control. So I'm happy that in the Parliament resolution, you referred to something which Mr. Sharif agreed with Clinton on 4th July 1999 at Washington.
Yeah. Mr. Khalid Mahmood, I'm sorry I lost the line with you. I repeat that question because we didn't get your full answer. If you can hear me now, we've had a bad satellite link. The unprovoked aggression in the Pakistan National Assembly, Mr. Khalid Mahmood, is the reason why this might spiral now out of control. And most people in India find it completely hypocritical, Mr. Khalid Mahmood, that on the one side you should be talking about a meeting in New York and on the other side pushing and backing such a resolution.
I can tell you that why this resolution was adopted. If you read the papers today, it will tell you a story that obviously amongst the public representatives in the National Assembly, there was a reaction to what is being said, the kind of jingoism that is being, that is being shown in the media and in the public reaction. As I said before, what has happened on the 6th of August, unfortunate, it is tragic and it is very sad. I think there are channels, there are existing military channels, DGMOs and there are other channels through which these matters should be discussed. this has been a very troubled year in terms of the violations of the LOC. But you see, we have to look at why and when it started. Till last year, the LOC was rather quiet. Why is it? And if I can explain, I can only explain that this happened after the execution of Afzal Guru. After that, things have been, going roller coaster. I would say, let us not get excited. I think let the two senior officials, leadership talk. We cannot decide the agenda. I think what I would say is the following. Let us both show restraint, let us show responsibility. We are nuclear power and let us move on.
Mr. Khalid Mahmood, the general opinion is that Nawaz Sharif is playing a double game, and that I would like to get Mohammad Siddiqui Al Farouk of the PMLN. Mr. G. Parthasarathi, former senior Indian diplomat, has made a fairly direct charge here on the News Hour this evening that Nawaz Sharif plays a double game.
Thank you.
That on the one side he is totally engaged with Hafiz Saeed, that he keeps his links, he keeps his financial support to Hafiz Saeed and the Lashkar-e-Toiba going. And on the other side he expects that, much like Vajpayee did before Kargil, that Manmohan Singh will also blindly engage in diplomatic parleys with Nawaz Sharif. Most people in India have seen through that, Mr. Farooq. Most people, like Mr. Parthasarathi, have seen through that. I'd like your response.
My name is Siddiqul Farooq. And let me tell you that Mr. Nawaz Sharif is not at all a hypocrite. He is simple and he has always a direct approach. He sincerely believes that problems, issues, disputes in this region must be resolved through talks in the interest of the humanity of this region. And he has specially given written strategy to all Pakistani High Commissioners. And in that, Indo-Pak relations enjoy a special place in that. So as I have heard a panelist, he said that Indian Prime Minister was not fully prepared, and if he goes fully prepared for talks, and it is for the India and Indian leadership and Indian government. This is an allegation against Indian Prime Minister. But if that allegation is true, then their Prime Minister should go with full preparation. After all, what Salman Khurshid, your Foreign Minister, has said today in an interview, that talks must be continued. And he said that Indo-Pak relations between India and Pakistan are important for regions.
Mr. Farooq,
just one minute.
You did not hear what the Foreign Minister said in entirety. Sir, listen to me. What the Foreign Minister of India said, it's not my fault if you want to listen to one part of what the Indian Foreign Minister said. I did the interview, I know what he said. The Foreign Minister of India said,
okay, then
that we need
for my consumption,
on 26/11.
You tell me what did he say?
The Foreign Minister of India said we need movement on 26/11. We need Pakistan to act on Hafiz Saeed. You didn't hear that part? You did not hear that part, sir? You chose not to hear that part.
His interview, just 1 minute. The crux of his interview was that talks, issues can be resolved through talks. Same is Mr. Nawaz Sharif today in his message on the Independence Day. He said that we have to resume talks and issues must be resolved through talks because war is not solution.
One second. Mr. Siddiq, I don't think you understood the crux of that interview. When he says very clearly, we want delivery on 26/11, then he's saying it to an Indian news channel. He knows that the people of India will ask on the 23rd of September. We will ask, what was the delivery on 26/11?
Let me say.
There was no 26/11 delivery. Why are you talking?
Even if
because that he has committed himself, I think that Mr. Parthasarathi, I'd like your reading of that. Mr. Parthasarathi, one second, Mr. Farooq.
I think we should let our guests from Pakistan
If these are allegations,
but
or if
basically
these are
the
facts,
point is,
even
Mr.
then,
Farooq,
both the Prime Ministers will have to talk. They will sit
we
together
want
and will have to
the
talk
perpetrators of 26/11 to be brought from justice without obfuscation. And perhaps the understanding which we reached with President Musharraf in 2004 on the question of use of Pakistan territory for terrorism to be adhered to. Now, nobody is saying don't have talks with Pakistan. The issue here is going to summits unprepared without surety of results worsens the situations. And right now, Mr. Nawaz Sharif may be a changed man. Our experience in the past, whether it was 1993 or in 1999, is somewhat different. So, but people change, people met force. But before the Prime Minister of India meets, we don't want another failed summit. Let's engage, let's discuss, and let's see what we can agree on. If it doesn't meet, let the heads of government meet when we are able to reach agreement. A failure at a summit or a stalled summit with false results. Both the Havana summit and the Sharm el-Sheikh summit, from the point of view of India, were disasters. It only worsened the situation.
All that is
whereas the Vajpayee-Musharraf summit in 2004, unlike the Agra summit, was successful. It produced productive results.
All that is being said here, Mr. Al Farooq, let me go get Zafar Ilaili and Khalid Mahmood also into this conversation. What is being said here, and Zafar Ilaili, you will totally agree with me, I'm sure, despite all the compliments you threw my way at the start of the conversation, that what you have to do is you have to see what happened between February 1997 and October 1999. At that point of time also, Atal Bihari Vajpayee had vested in a lot in improving the relationship with Pakistan. What Pakistan did after that is historically known. Now, what I would like to ask you, Zafar Ilaili, is this. Our present Prime Minister has also vested in a lot, despite strong Indian public opinion in somehow keeping this process going with your country. But you see this aborted attack on the Jalalabad consulate a few days back, in which there was a clear hand. And the LOC ambush and G. Patsati.
May I just clarify one thing? The Afghans have informed us officially that the attack on our consulate was carried out by 4 members of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, Punjabi speaking, who came across the border illegally and executed that attack, which was foiled.
So the question here is that first you have to get your army under check, Zafar Ilaili, before you can have any constructive dialogue. I'm sure you completely agree.
First of all, let me just say that the Lashkar-e-Taiba has probably killed more Pakistanis than it has killed Indians.
It has not.
That's the first point.
Sorry, Zafar.
Well,
sorry, Zafar. The Lashkar has never, unlike the Jaish and other groups, carried out an attack inside Pakistan. It is a favorite not only of the military for that reason, but also, and it is not sectarian.
Yeah, okay,
and the other is favorite of the military and also has enjoyed the patronage of the Sharif family.
Okay, let him continue. Let him continue. Yeah.
You see, the point is this, that if you think that you believe whatever they say and you think that your take is better than the take we have of our problem, then perhaps you can say these things. But let me tell you, there's half a dozen of one and 6 of the other. There is no real difference between these organizations. Some of them are supposed to be closer, some of them are supposed to be more distant, some of them are supposed to be good, some of them are supposed to be not so good, but we know through bitter experience that they're all the same. They are all against the Constitution of Pakistan, they are all against peace and stability. So if you want to make a distinction, you're welcome to. I'm not making it.
Why is Nawaz Sharif funding them? Why is Nawaz Sharif funding them? Just tell me that. Why is he funding them?
Now the point is this. They are indeed some parties in Pakistan that are accused of having some kind of contacts with some of these organizations. I think that if that was the situation in the past, I think the situation in Pakistan is completely transformed. You heard the Interior Minister of Pakistan yesterday say, we are in it for our lives. We are in it for our existence.
All I'm saying,
there is no compromise.
Zafar Ilaili, is this, that the view in India is, let's say Shadri Chari take you on, the view in India is, get your house in order. I am told that Keani may go, there may be a new army chief, there may be a change of guard in your army. Let the change of guard happen. Let Nawaz Sharif get control and then we'll talk. That's all.
Well,
To talk in the
first
given
of all,
situation appears rather meaningless. Seshadri Chari.
you see, well,
what do you think, Seshadri Chari?
apart from your last comment regarding getting a house in order is the demand not only of you but of the Pakistani people. We all want to get our house in order. It's not going to be easy, but we are determined to.
So in
what
the-
I
in the
want to
interim,
know
why
is,
should we talk to you?
are you going to make it more difficult by your virulent anti-Pakistan propaganda, your jingoistic stance, your widespread shelling of an incident which, by the way, hasn't at all been proved that it was committed by the Pakistan army? What I am astonished is, you never talk about the fact that who could have done this. You take it for granted. And your foreign minister said,
Sir, I would
because
like to
there are
believe that it was,
terrorists, because it could be one or the other. That's not a way of...
Mr. Zafar Ileli, Seshadri Chari is responding to you, please. Yes.
Zafar Saab should also explain to us that are these non-state, so-called non-state actors whom he is referring to, do you mean to say the army has absolutely no control over these people? Does the ISI not control these people? Number one. Number two, if this was an act, as he claims, a small incident, some other guest, another guest from Pakistan referred to this as an incident. It is not a single incident. There have been more than 15 violations in last one week. In the first place, do you mean to say that these elements are so brazen and bold enough to breach the army at the border, LOC, come inside the Indian territory, kill 5 Jawans, go back unnoticed and unstopped by the Pakistani army? Is the Pakistani army so weak? And if it is this kind of a weakness that the Pakistani army is showing, I think it is time for Mr. Kayani to go, and then the Indian Prime Minister will have to talk a very tough language to Pakistan before he meets the Prime Minister in New York. And that is the mood of the people of India, and that has been expressed overtly by the Parliament resolution. And I will also refer to another guest who said, I will also refer to another guest. I'm not referring to what you said.
The question.
I am also referring to another guest who said that Pakistan is also a nuclear country, and your resolution specifically speaks
I don't want to
support.
get caught. I don't want to get derailed in rhetoric.
No,
I don't want to. I have only one question today.
This is the kind of threat. This is the kind of threat that Pakistan is holding towards India.
Want to respond? Before we commit ourselves to the dialogue, we want to know who we are talking to.
I am not saying
Would
this.
you talk to the Indian government?
Arnav, I am reading out. Arnav, I am reading out from the Pakistani resolution.
I think we go across to our Pakistan guest.
I am reading out from the Pakistani resolution that we shall continue to extend diplomatic, political and moral support for the just and legitimate struggle of Kashmiri people.
You have dual power centers.
They are talking about extending support to Kashmiri people.
Your government has no control over Mr. Kiani right now.
Incompetent?
Why should we be complicit?
Is the Indian army so incompetent?
Why should we be complicit
that in the most
such a process,
heaviest
talking to somebody we don't know anything about?
Land on earth, that is occupied Kashmir, is the most militarized land in the world? Is your army so incompetent that they allow a Pakistani patrol to come in 5 miles, kill somebody while they are in a siesta and return back?
No, 1 second.
I mean,
Mr. Zafar Hilali, Mr. Zafar Hilali, I have told you before. Mr. Zafar Hilali, I have told you before and I am repeating now. I know the strength of Indian army. The Indians know the strength of Indian army. I am neither a diplomat nor a journalist. I am telling you point blank now. If you want to show the strength, if you want to see the strength of the Indian army, we can show the strength of the Indian army that we showed in 1971. So don't make me repeat these things.
Try it.
And you cannot threaten us like this. Therefore, if you want talks, if you want peace with India, if you want peace with India, you should learn to behave.
let's
Try it.
If you want
One
peace
second,
with
one
India,
second, let's not
you
get provoked.
also
Let's not
should
get
learn.
provoked. Calm down the tempers. I only raised the point of why we should talk to some country
Please,
which is
please
not
try to
which
behave.
is not
Scaring
more time
me
to our
to death.
institutions
we
in
should
power.
give more time to our Pakistani guests. The basic point is that Mr. Hilali should know the terrain. You know, the only thing within 1,000 yards of that post on the LOC is a Pakistani post on the other side. There is nobody else there. And this was a patrol moving late, dark at night. And we've identified the people that they came from across the LOC.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact of the matter is,
Without
they were
bulletproof
carrying
vest.
pretty good firepower.
Yeah, yeah.
Without
And
bulletproof
it's not
vest.
somebody from Yahoo from Kashmir who does this.
No,
this is right across a Pakistan border post. No, but more importantly, what we are seeing is a pattern. There have been already 60 violations of the LOC, and certainly we want to go back to 2003. But the way for that is serious talks and not unplanned summit which ended in disaster like Sharm el Sheikh or Agra.
Mr. Hanaf.
This question goes to our guests in Lahore and Islamabad. To Mr. Siddiqui Al Farooq, my question to you, sir, is that, you know, there is such a huge divide between your army and your political class. And very often your political class has told our political class that we are not creating the trouble, it is the army which is creating the trouble. The Abbottabad documents further highlight that divide in the whole debate on Osama bin Laden. It shows that you are dealing with multiple power centers in Pakistan. So aren't the people of India totally right in saying that before you talk to Pakistan, let
At a summit
Pakistan
level. At a summit level.
At a summit level, not at a secretary level or at a, you know, a CBM level. Before we talk to you at a summit level, let's be first sure that you are in control. Otherwise, you know, Mr. Al-Siddiq, Al-Farooq, it's a waste of time, unfortunately.
Arnav, I just want to add one more thing. You said there is a difference.
Let's get our guests from
following
Islamabad.
your question?
Please,
Now let me answer.
Please, Arnav, please.
Let me answer.
You said there is a difference of opinion between
Please.
the Indian, the Pakistani army and the political class. It is
One
not.
second, sir. Let's get
It is
Mr.
not.
Siddiqui Al
It is
Farooq.
not.
Very
Please.
lengthy
question.
No, Arnav.
And even one question.
Arnav, no. Arnav, let me read out.
Dozens of questions.
Arnav,
So let me
please.
answer.
Arnav, please. I want to read out this one sentence. Give me just half a minute. The political resolution, the political resolution passed by the Pakistani
and you can
assembly.
ask questions
Sir,
without giving me time for answer.
I'm losing satellite time. I need to go across to our guests in Islamabad and then in Lahore.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Carry
Mr.
on,
Siddiqui
carry
Al
on.
Farooq.
First of all, the allegation that Mr. Nawaz Sharif has been or is funding fundamentalists or terrorists, I reject it, because it was Mr. Nawaz Sharif who set up anti-terrorist courts, and he was himself attacked by terrorists, number one. Number two, there are so many allegations, but the outstanding issues between India and Pakistan cannot be resolved through these talk shows. After all, we have to rise above these things. We have to sit and we have to show statesmanship if we are really interested in resolving issues. We have not to foment these things. We have to come to terms. We have to show some flexibility to resolve this issue in the interest of India and Pakistan, and for that Mr. Nawaz Sharif and his government is ready, and I think Mr. Nawaz Sharif is in a better position. You have said that he is not in control of this thing or that thing. He is in a better position to hold talks because he has raised this issue during his election campaign. And whole nation is behind this to resolve these issues.
I'll go to
Yes. Can you give me one example, please? One example of Nawaz Sharif's readiness to talk to India.
To Khalid Mahmood. No, a question to Khalid Mahmood. Please, 1 second. The question to Khalid Mahmood is this, sir, that it is generally believed that the Jalalabad consulate aborted attack, followed by the ambush which happened on the Indian side of the LOC, in which 5 Indian soldiers were killed, were clear warnings from the Pakistani army to India. Now your government is telling our government, and I have information at the highest level, I was told, that your government is telling our government that we are really very sorry, but this has not been done by us. This has been done by people outside our control.
That was said to Biden also.
This was also said to the Americans earlier that this was not done by us, it was done by people outside our control. Obviously talking about the Pakistani army and the ISI. But Mr. Khalid Mahmood, is that India's problem? Is it? Don't we suffer at the end of the day?
That the Frankenstein and the monsters that have existed now for over some time, the government is trying to bring them under control, and the end game in Afghanistan is attracting a lot of attention. And I think really, instead of heated debates about a situation which is very opaque, I think nobody exactly knows what happened. What has happened is most regrettable, most unfortunate. There should be a dialogue at many levels, multiple levels. And there is an Indian diplomat, former diplomat, who has said that in a situation like this and in all situation of tension between India and Pakistan, there should be uninterrupted and uninterruptible debate. I think time has come that both of us, I think India's potential will be realized if India behaves like a big country in the region. Pakistan's stability will be a factor. I think what is happening has happened in Afghanistan again is unfortunate. But to look at all these problems, there is need for discussion, there is need for dialogue. I think India and Pakistan can also cooperate on the issue of Afghanistan. Why not? But this will not come through talks. This will not come through the public talks like this. It will come through dialogue. Let us do it quietly. Let us do it well and based on information.
Arnav, but please tell me, let the Pakistani guests tell us. Let the Pakistani guests tell us who in the first place vitiated the atmosphere. It was India's Prime Minister who was kind enough to send an envoy to Pakistan to meet the person who was not even designated as Prime Minister at that time. This was the gesture from the Indian side. What did you do? What did Pakistan do?
Point for Mr. Farooq. You said Mr. Nawaz Sharif.
Let me quickly tell you.
You said Mr. Sharif does not. Nawaz Sharif has no connections with the Lashkar-e-Taiba. You know, when I was High Commissioner, Mr. Sharif, then Prime Minister, sent Shahid Hamid, the Governor of Punjab, and Mushahid Hussain, his Information Minister, to call on Hafiz Muhammad Saeed. Today, Hafiz Muhammad Saeed is being officially funded, the Jamaat-ud-Dawa, by the Punjab government. Now tell us, if you are an Indian, how would you feel about it when the whole world knows the Mumbai attack was carried out by Lashkar-e-Taiba? This is official funding by the Punjab government made public.
Well, Zafar Ileli raised his hand to respond to that. I think we'll take that offer. Mr. Zafar Ileli, yes. And if you saw Mr. Salman Khurshid's interview, which we are telecasting in full right after the news hour, he very clearly says there must be delivery on 26/11. So there is now one point of reference that we have. Zafar Ileli, before we close.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is regarding Hafiz Abdul Saeed is that this gentleman was arrested because India was certain that he was behind the act. He was questioned, he was examined, he was sent to a civil court and to the High Court. When the civil court and the High Court found that there were no grounds to hold him, the government went to the Supreme Court. And all the time the man was kept under arrest. None of us hold a brief for that man. I certainly do not do so. But in front of the Supreme Court, after a tribunal, that man was found not to be involved in the way that it was made out. Now,
why do you give him crores of Pakistani rupees? No, straight question, Mr. Ileli. Straight question. You don't like him, you hate him, he's an anathema on your country, he's a problem for your people. Why do you pay him your money? Why do you fund him?
Not him, not only him, others like him too. For me.
Why do you fund him? I'm asking you about him. Do you have an answer? Don't you have an answer, Mr. Ileli?
If you know Nawaz Sharif is funding him, if you know Nawaz Sharif is funding him, ask Siddiq Al Farooq. He is sitting with you. I would not fund him, but if he is, ask him. But as far as Bombay was concerned, let me conclude.
Mr. Hillary,
Let me conclude my combination. Let me conclude my remarks and simply say, I said after Mumbai to the government of India, please do not fall into the trap of the extremists.
Sir,
do not break off contacts with the one authority in Pakistan that can deliver. But you said no, and for 2 years we had no progress, nothing.
Because it's counterproductive to your own country from your own logic.
I don't know.
Zafar Ali will never agree, but I thank you for joining me with all the guests. Thank you for joining us on the News Hour tonight. Thank you.